Good morning, The Real Martian here, playing around with the camera today. Gonna have some different shots. Walking out to feed the Martian critters, and we're gonna try something today. We're gonna try to take the recommendations that were made regarding cleaning off the solar panels. It was suggested that we use compressed Martian air. Today that will be delivered by a leaf blower. We're gonna see how it works. So I'm excited. Hopefully it does work because it's been snowing and we've got probably about 4 or 5 inches of wet snow. We'll see how that snowblower does. Okay, so you can see we had about 6 inches of snow last night. Some of it's starting to melt off, but all that snow that's on top of the solar panels is going to collect right in front of it. I bet you they're going to have the same problem on Mars. There'll be storms on Mars that can engulf the entire planet and last for months. And the dust, I'm sure, is of different consistencies. I was in Iraq and the dust there was horrible. It would stick to everything. And then it would get wet, turn to mud. You'd end up being like 6 inches taller by the time you walked across the parking lot because all the mud would stick to your boots. I bet you the dirt on Mars is probably the same. So it's probably going to pile up and get all nasty. So today, I'm going to take some recommendations from Mission Control. Those of you on YouTube who responded to our videos, they suggested we use a leaf blower to blow off the snow. This would be like blowing the dust off on Mars, so we'll see how it works. Well, it's as I feared. The consistency of this snow and the fact that it's wet means that the snowblower doesn't have enough power to blow the snow off. So we're going to need to do something a little different. Probably manual, squeegee, like what Cody recommended, I'd imagine would be the best thing. So, kind of interesting to think about this. What would it be like on Mars? You know, they don't have gasoline that powers air blowers. They're going to have electricity or methane, natural gas, and we're actually doing natural gas here. I think that's what they'll end up doing on Mars as well, but that's just a guess on my part, an educated guess nonetheless. It takes lots of energy to run a snowblower, to run equipment. So everything we do on Mars is going to have to be considerate of the amount of energy it takes to run it and the amount of time it takes. If you have to go out and blow these panels off every day on Mars, you're going to have to put your spacesuit on. You're going to have that spacesuit charged with electricity to keep you warm, keep you pressurized, and to generate oxygen. You're going to have an oxygen generator back at your base. That all takes electricity. And if you use a blower, that blower is going to take electricity, or it's going to take methane. It's going to take something that has to generate power. So the key here to survival on Mars, power, electricity. How do we generate it? How do we store it? How do we use it efficiently? Maybe we need to change the way we set up our electronic devices to be much more energy efficient. Maybe we've got to do some invention there. But if we don't crack the nut on power storage and power generation, we're not going to make it on Mars. We brought in some bigger power. Well, you go through all that, you can see how much work it is. Imagine doing that on Mars. We need a better way. I think a conveyor in front on the ground running flat kind of runs real slow, kind of like a manure spreader with a chain driven that has a bar on it that just moves the snow down off the bank. Just keeping that front clear would be a really nice thing to have. That's one way to potentially do it. Rotating bars going across the top, complicated, lots of moving parts. I like it with a squeegee on it that just kind of rolls over like a windshield wiper from top to bottom. But then you got chains or cables or ropes or stuff that you got to string through there, get hung up on things, they get frosted up, they'll get caught, you constantly be maintaining them. In the end, you know, when you're on Mars, you're going to need a workout, I guess, and it's definitely a good workout. The nice thing about this outfit is it does keep me pretty warm, kind of sweaty, so it makes you think also, you know, just the environmental gear that they will need in their suits, you know. I was breathing pretty hard there, so there's lots of condensation in your breath. You're going to have a dehumidifier in your suit, something that condenses all that. You're going to have a heater in your suit. It's negative 125 degrees Celsius on Mars. No pressure outside. You got to have pressurization. So many things you got to have. And, you know, I guess just using your imagination here on Earth and dealing with stuff like this really helps you think through the problems that we're going to have on Mars. So I hope this was fun to watch. See you next time.